Welcome to the Straightforward Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown superstars and other your WWE main event and Saturday Morning Slam results, and also some fans that were at the Raw and the WrestleMania shows. Passed along some notes. But I'm going to remind you what happened after Raw went off the air. Cena got on the mic and put over the crowd. Cena then laid the belt in the ring and said that it was for the fans. Cena got a massive pop, and then Cena usually play the music to end the show, but tonight we were the music. We left Cena left the ring, and the whole crowd started singing Fandango's theme song, and Fandango's music hit, and the crowd went nuts. The show closed with one final "We Are Awesome" chant. John Cena said he's not a fan of Ray J's song. I hit first, as this also happened after last night. It's Raw, and Cena told CNN that he would face Ray J in the ring if he's ridiculous enough to make a song as stupid as that. He certainly is ridiculous enough to make a bad decision to step in the ring with John Cena anytime, anywhere, anyplace. As Cena said, I would love for him to be a superstar for a day on WWE, and I'd hopefully knock some class into him. And that ended that little melee segment. And Sheamus took to Twitter also, and following his Raw match with Randy Orton, that was overtaken by the crowd chants, "Just wrestled Randy on Raw." As Sheamus wrote, "Anyone notice?" Sheamus then retweeted fans' tweets that noted that the Olay chants reminded them of Irish football. And .NET reader Sean Valentino was in the WWE hotel bar after the show and noted that Sheamus got upset when a fan was asking him, telling him, "Tough crowd today." He seems to have lightened up this morning as he retweeted a fan who wrote, "I will be telling my grandkids I was there." In general, Sean described the mood as tense in the hours after the show, and said it seemed like some WWE personnel were embarrassed by the fan reactions. "I wouldn't want to see that every week, but I viewed it as one of those only on Raw moments." And also Sean Valentino also reported on what happened on Raw and at WrestleMania week, as it was the same hotel he stayed in the same hotel as the WWE crew, and he passed along the following report. Number one, the audience at Raw was ECW-type raucous crowd that completely made an otherwise dull program. We were doing ridiculous chants at the utmost inappropriate times. Fans were singing songs, doing the wave, etc. It was a surreal experience. Number two, this was the first 3-hour Raw I have ever attended in person. I felt like I was in the arena for 10 hours. It was such a painstaking experience that I had to wander the hallway for over 45 minutes to make it bearable. Number three, Dolph Ziggler got by far the biggest ovation of the night, and there was anticipation of him cashing in the briefcase throughout the night. Number four, John Cena was booed out of the building, and it did not help matters with the usual dork antics. And this is Cena. This is the Cena that we will get as champ. It is going to be a long year. Number five, the show highlighted the creative deficiency of the last 10 years as the current crop of dull, lifeless characters that WWE has stuffed down our throats, receiving no reaction. Lame characters like Alberto Del Rio, Miz, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, etc., receiving little to no reaction at all. And number six, note, he comments, the audience's frustration of the dull quality of the show for the first hour or so finally boiled over when Sheamus Randy Orton came out. The audience reaction to the miscast Orton and the goofy Irishman was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. After receiving by crickets, the match took on a transcendent atmosphere as we started random chants to entertain ourselves. Some of the better ones were when the crowd echoed the names of RVD, JBL, Michael Cole, Justin Roberts, Michael Chiodo, that's Chiodo, etc. At one point, the wave even broke out. It was absolutely hilarious. And no matter how it came across on television, it could not have been as possibly captured as the absurdity of being there. When Big Show came out, the chant of "Thank you, Big Show" broke out, and when he was unable to throw a chair in the ring, we screamed out, "One more chair!" Orton and Sheamus should have been embarrassed, but it was really a message to WWE Creative Department that they have completely failed in creating compelling characters in the past decade. It was one of my highlights as a wrestling fan. And note number 7, the hilarity continued when Fandango entered the ring and the audience danced and hummed his music. By this point, the show had been a complete mockery, and the most entertaining moments were provided by the fans. Number 8, we left before Cena-Henry match as we realized that you could not top 10,000 people dancing to Fandango's music. Number 9, the hotel was not as exciting as it normally is, but when we got back, we saw Ric Flair and Booker T drinking at the bar. Ric Flair had been there since 2 p.m. until midnight, but who can blame him? Number 10, the mockery continued as I thanked Diddy for the photo after I got a picture with R-Truth. Sheamus looked really upset when he entered the hotel, but he still posed for a picture with various fans. Number 11, we ended the night talking to Rocky Johnson, that's The Rock's father, as he told us that The Rock was done with wrestling. He is making $30 million a movie. Why would he need to deal with this nonsense? You can take that for what it's worth. A few years ago, Johnson told my friend he was going to be made a general manager and ride to WrestleMania on a horse, so his track record for honesty is not very great. I do not get a sense that he is close to, that close with his son, but it's a still noteworthy point. With all these injuries, perhaps it's better for Rock to move on from this final chapter of his wrestling career. Another WrestleMania week is in the history books. This is my 11th trip to WrestleMania, and every year it is an incredible experience. Hopefully all have you have enjoyed reading my daily reports. But to truly, fully understand the festivities, you really need to be there. Hope to see y'all at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. Well, Ross Lupino attended Monday's Raw and posted his opinions on this following report. To start off, I've been to many WWE events, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, etc., but none of them came close to last night's Raw. My girlfriend Stephanie and I got to the arena around 6:45, waited in line for a few minutes before being let in. The first thing she wanted to do was go get some food. That's mainly why she came, and another Punk shirt. She loves him. She also pointed out that there were so many adults and teens there. She was pretty amazed that I wasn't the only 23-year-old who was a WWE fan. We got to our seats. We sat camera side, center, 15 rows up. Not sure if we were on TV a few times. Have to go back and watch the show for that. As I guess they recorded it on their DVR. The lower level was pretty much filled by the time that they filmed Superstars. And Justin Roberts came on the mic around 7:45 to let us know that The Rock wouldn't be here tonight due to an injury. The crowd roared and boos. John Cena also came out to boos. I'm not sure how loud it sounded on TV, but he was booed tremendously. We actually got a kick out of Cena reacting to our chants. Well done by Cena. Mark Henry received a nice pop when he made his entrance, and the crowd chanted sexual chocolates for a good 5 minutes straight. When Booker T came out and announced that Rock was still the number one contender for the crowd booed and chanted bullshit. They announced the 2-on-1 handicap match with Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter, and in tons of guys, including me and our section, agreed tonight was the night Ziggler catches in. After the first commercial break, a loud bullshit chant broke out again for The Rock. I was amazed at how much the yes, 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 yes gimmick is over. The entire arena was standing and was moving their hands when Daniel Bryan came out. Big E is a big boy in person as he looked dominant in his debut on Raw. I went to get the girlfriend food during the Miz versus Wade Barrett match. Barrett was really over and got a nice pop after winning. After I got my food, I was walking back to the seat when I noticed a guy looking like X-Pac walking toward my direction. As he got closer, I was like, holy shit, that is X-Pac. My girlfriend had no idea who it was. He actually approached me and asked me where his tickets were. I told him I was a huge fan. He took a picture with us and even threw up the DX symbol. I pointed out where his section was. He was in a box suite, and he went on his way. Pretty cool, but it's amazing how old he is now. That being said, something wasn't right with him last night. During the Swagger vs. Del Rio match, there were loud chants of "We want Ziggler" for a good 4 to 5 minutes. A huge Ziggler fan. And when he came out to cash in his briefcase, he got a huge pop, another huge pop. Everyone was standing, including me. I was so happy I got to see him cash in live. What a moment for Dolph. It looked like he truly was honored to win the belt. I felt bad for Randy Orton and Sheamus. They had a 15-minute match that nobody cared about. Even JBL, Michael Cole, and Jared Lawler, some of the chants that were started throughout their match. Ole, 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 ole. And then Mike Chioda, RVD, and ECW. A fan noticed X-Pac, and then X-Pac chant broke out, followed by a JBL chant, which JBL acknowledged by tipping his hat. And that was followed by Jerry the King Lawler chant with a Michael Cole chant. We even broke a pretzel chant. And the guy selling pretzels stopped and danced. The crowd got the wave going and chant, "We want puppies." This all took place during the Orton match. Once Big Show came out and a loud thank you Big Show chant started, as Randy Orton left the ring, he gave the crowd a dirty look. He wasn't too pleased. Well, I watched that on Raw, as it was right before they started the match. Next up was Fandango versus Kofi Kingston. The crowd was way over for Fandango. And they popped for a little for Y2J run in, and again when Fandango managed to say his name even after the beatdown. During the commercial break, we started singing Fandango's theme song on the camera side, and we're dancing to the theme for the entire commercial break. The 8-man tag match received zero attention. I don't even remember who won. The crowd was singing and dancing to Fandango's theme the entire time. When we saw the other side of the arena wasn't dancing, we started "That Side Sucks" chant and "We Are Awesome" chant. That went on for a few moments. Henry and Cena made their entrances. Crowd was still dancing to Fandango's short match. Crowd popped for Ryback, though we loved when he laid out Cena. On the way out of the arena, people were dancing to Fandango's theme in the hallways. While we were in the car waiting to leave, people were honking their own horns to the theme song, to the theme of that song. I couldn't believe it. It was incredible. We didn't have The Rock, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, or Triple H. Yet this was the best Raw of the year. The best Raw I can remember, and by far the most fun I've ever had at a WWE event. It was basically a big party. I can't wait for them to return to New Jersey. If all the crowds were like this, we would be 10 times better. Hopefully it can continue. On to next, more news. Best wishes to former WWE star, WCW star, NWO star, Scott Hall, who was scheduled to undergo his hip replacement surgery this morning. Hall tweeted a photo of an x-ray of his pacemaker defibrillator device in his chest. It's a pretty wild image if you've never seen something like this. Check it out at via.me/B79QCJS. Thanks to .net member and reader Chris Ketchmark. And WWE issues a press release regarding their role as a founding partner in the 2014 Special Olympics. WWE is proud to serve as the founding partner of the 2014 Special Olympics USA Games and utilize our global platforms to bring more attention to the accomplishments of so many determined and extraordinary athletes. Said WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, WWE, its superstars and employees look forward to being a part of these important events. Read the full press release at corporate.wwe.com. The survivors of the real-life murder, torture, and kidnapping case at The Rock's next big screen release, Pain and Gain, was inspired by our upset that the movie is a comedy. Retired Miami-Dade Police Sergeant Felix Jimenez sounded off on it. "You are talking about real people," he told the Associated Press. And in this particular case, especially when you're talking about the murder victims, these were innocent victims. The film will be released in theaters on April 26th. Read the full story on the controversy at yahoo.com. Thanks to .net reader Amanda J for that news. And there are no pro wrestling matches listed for ESPN Classic from Monday night or tonight. And now for your WWE main event taping spoilers from Boston, Massachusetts. Report by Tim Nicoletti. The match number 1, The Shield defeated Kofi Kingston, Brodus Clay, and Sweet Tea. Ambrose pinned Kofi after a flying knee. After the match, The Shield performed a triple powerbomb on Clay and Tea. Lots of heat on The Shield from the kids. There were a few adults cheering for The Shield as well. Matt Striker interviewed Big E Langston about WrestleMania. Match number 2, Big E Langston defeated Zack Ryder. Langston had his own theme music because he didn't have one on Raw. He must have been somebody must have been listening to my, watching my video from last night, and some other dirt sheet readers as well. Jack Swagger with Zeb Coulter defeated Yoshi Tatsu. Coulter cut a pre-match promo, and Swagger won with a Patriot Lock. Saturday Morning Slam report by the same person. Justin Gabriel defeated Kurt Hawkins in a dark match. Gabriel won with a 450 splash, and the kids loved him. Match number 1, the Great Khali, Hornswoggle, and Natalya defeated Primo, Epico, and Rosa in the Slam taping match. Lots of comedy. Khali beat Primo with a Punjabi plunge in a match that went way too long. Match number 2, the Usos defeated Rhodes Scholars. And there was a lot of heat on Damien Sandow, who said they were competing under protest. The Usos were not very over, but they won with a small package. And now for your SmackDown spoilers. By Tim Nicoletti again, pre-show notes. I know it's mostly because it's his hometown, but it's 90% John Cena gear. Even as the crowd was just starting to fill in, it was noticeable that it's not nearly as lively as last night. John Cena Sr. was in attendance, and there was a lot of kids present. Look for him in the front 2 rows. Lillian Garcia introduced Big E Langston, who introduced Dolph Ziggler. Dolph cut a very hoarse promo where he turned on the crowd to try to draw heat, saying that the moment is his and his alone. And Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter interrupted Ziggler. Coulter congratulated Ziggler and said Ziggler should thank Swagger for his title win. Ziggler told Swagger to get to the back of the line. Swagger started to approach the ring and then backed off. Coulter said that Ziggler wants a title shot, and that won't wait long. Coulter and Swagger left. Ziggler continued his promo until he was interrupted by Del Rio. Alberto said that when his ankle heals, he will get a rematch and get his title back. Del Rio left, and now there's a lot of heat on Ziggler. He dared someone else to come out and was interrupted by Chris Jericho, who got a big pop. Jericho informed Ziggler that his first match as champ will be against him. Jericho was way over with the kids. Match number 1, Kane and Daniel Bryan defeated the Primetime Players. Bryan performed the Borgasm Lock on Titus, who tapped out to end the short match. The Shield cut a promo on Hell No, interrupting their victory, and the crowd chanting along, yeah, Borgasms, yes, no, with Bryan. Match number 2, Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett defeated Santino Marella. Santino tried to kick himself to his feet, but failed. I guess he tried to do the kip up. Barrett took down his elbow pad and turned his back on Santino to show the crowd. Meanwhile, Santino successfully kicked himself up and then ducked the elbow. Santino took out the Cobra glove. Barrett kicked the Cobra and hit him with the bullhammer elbow for the win. Match number 3, the Bella Twins and Tamina Snuka defeated the Funkadactyls and Caitlyn. One of the Funkadactyls dominated one of the Bellas. The Funk Girl went for a top rope move but was knocked down by the other twin, which led to the pinfall. Triple H came out to a huge pop, and the whole crowd was on its feet. I told you the ass kicker is back, he said. And the 3-man band interrupted. Shut up and listen to us, one of them said. Probably that was what's his face? The Asian dude, whatever, Jinder Mahal. One of them said, you haven't seen nothing yet because 3MB is about to rock your face. Well, that must have been Heath Slater. 3MB surrounded Triple H, and the Shield came out and attacked 3MB. Kane and Bryan joined Triple H in the ring, and the Shield retreated. Heath Slater was left in the ring surrounded. He took a Daniel Bryan kick, a Kane chokeslam, and then Triple H pedigree. The band collected Slater and then retreated themselves. Bryan asked Triple H to celebrate by hugging it out. The crowd cheered him on. Triple H asked to see a demonstration first, just to be clear, and there was a hug it out chant. Hunter asked the crowd if they hugged. Various guys in the crowd to demonstrate hugs. Triple H still reluctant and accused Bryan of having goat toe or something. He told him to eat meat to make him feel better. There was an eat some meat chant. Triple H said he would have no trouble hugging Kane. They were interrupted by Vince McMahon, and Triple H said that if anybody needs a hug, it's Vince McMahon. Bryan opened his arms expectantly, and McMahon retreated. Bryan asked for Hunter and Kane to hug. Triple H asked, "Is it weird that at this point I wish the Shield had come down and finished me off?" Triple H hugged Kane and said that he felt violated. They all left the ring happy. Well, I'm wondering if the Vince McMahon segment won't even be on there, as they may not be having him be on there. Well, Randy Orton and Sheamus in match number 4 defeated Big Show by countout in a handicap match. Randy was bandaged around his midsection to sell his injuries from Monday Night Raw. There was a sidewalk slam by Big Show. Show stepped on Randy's injured midsection. Sheamus tagged in and brawled. Randy performed an RKO, and Sheamus hit the brogue kick. Show rolled out of the ring, and the crowd chanted with the referee from 2. But there were boos after the 9 count. Show slowly retreated while holding his jaw. Match number 5. Kofi Kingston defeated the U.S. champion Antonio Cesaro. Wonder if it was a non-title match probably. Cesaro dominated and taunted the crowd. Kofi hulked up and hit Trouble in Paradise. Cesaro fell too close to the corner. Kofi pulled him closer and pinned him to end the snooze fest. Match number 6. World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler with AJ and Big E Langston defeated Chris Jericho. There was an extensive setup for Fandango's entrance, as he was a spectator for the match. The crowd sang along with the entrance song. There was an AJ crazy chant. Jericho ended up out of the ring near Fandango as the ref was distracted by Ziggler. Fandango took advantage. Jericho made his comeback and hit the top rope moves. Both for 2 counts. He completely missed a lion salt. Jericho went for the walls of Jericho. Fandango tried to interfere. He was blocked by the referee. While the referee wasn't looking, Big E attacked Jericho. And the ref turns around to see Jericho pinned for the 3 count. Fandango further insulting Jericho after the loss. And that ended the show. And I have to scroll, put the screen a little bit further over. And the dark match main event, John Cena, Kane, and Daniel Bryan defeated the Shield. All the faces hit their finishers. The Shield used the chair for the disqualification just as normal. And the Shield retreated, and John Cena's music played to close out the evening to send everybody home happy. And that concludes my show for this week, even though it's only like 24 minutes long, if that. Well, that's all the news I can find. Again, thanks again for viewing. Peace out. God bless. Stay tuned next week or for Impact for Thursday night. Again, peace out.